speaking of horrifying brain injuries, listening to this guy will give you a horrifying brain injury. Let's take a look at what Ben had to say.
Can I point out that there are a lot of headlines right now about how hot it is outside? I know. It's hot outside. You know what I can do about that? 0 things. Thank God.
What? Okay.
We have this thing called air conditioning. It's awesome. You know, it's a great cure for being super duper hot outside. Being a first world country. Amazing. It works out tremendously well. Because it turns out that if you have a really solid energy grid and you have the capacity to turn on that AC, you're living quite comfortably these days. You know what sucks? Global poverty. You know what brings global poverty? Decarbonization. Let me also point out that the media always do this routine when it's very, very hot outside. They never, ever cover it when it's cold. So it's funny. The media will say, well, you know, it's not global warming, it's now climate change. And the reason they changed the term from global warming to climate change is because the climate, in many cases, is colder during the winters than it was before. So it's hotter during the summers and it's colder during the winters. They've called this climate weirding. But that doesn't really seem to go over all that way. So
I don't get it. Okay. He's just describing how things work. Okay.
Call it climate change, which, of course, is an incredibly vague term because the climate is always changing. However, it is worth noting at this point that all of this, folks, millions will die of the heat waves that are occurring on planet. Oh, my God. The ocean is so hot during the summer in Florida. Okay, so first of all, it is hot this summer in Florida. Also, it's hot like every summer in Florida. You've been to Florida? It's really, really hot and humid. Like, I noticed when I first visited here.
I genuinely, okay, the thing that oh God, I love conservatives doing the thing that I say all the time, which is like, well, no one can explain it. Actually, people can. You just like, do not talk to those people. Or when you hear what they're saying, scientists, I mean, you go, that's fake. It's false. Partially because, I don't know, may have something to do with the Daily Wire being originally funded and almost completely funded originally by 2 oil barons. Maybe that has something to do with it. Who knows? What do I know? What the fuck do I know? It's like the idea that like global warming is not real because winter is not, is such a laughable concept. And yet so many Americans legitimately believe it. It's awesome. Global warming? Well, Florida is hot. How can you explain it? Florida is always hot. It's not weird that extreme weather conditions that used to happen once every 50 years is happening yearly and multiple times a year. You know, blizzards, tornadoes, storms, hurricanes that are like eviscerating entire parts of the mainland United States and also the territories like Puerto Rico. It's fine. Nobody cares. I mean, that's just normal. It's just normal. Climate is just happening. It's just happening. And there's not really anything you can do about it. Frank Lutz is the guy who coined the term climate change. These idiots complain about a term their own guy came up with. Notably, climate change is a term invented by Frank Lutz. These fuckers complain about a term that their own guy made up. They're so stupid. I mean, that part I don't really care about. He's saying this with malicious intent, not just ignorance, right? Yeah, part of it is like, I do sometimes believe that like Ben has to believe his own bullshit because like he has children. And it's not like it's not like Ben lives on Mars. Like his daughters live on planet Earth. And the reality is that, you know, planet Earth is becoming less and less habitable for future generations. Like, what are you talking about?